Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we have a head-to-head comparison between Sony's largest portable party speaker and JBL's second largest portable party speaker. Now, the reason that I put these two together is because it's a really fair comparison since they both do sport a 12-inch subwoofer. So first, let's just go in and show the design of each one of these speakers. So as you can see, the JBL is more of an enclosed design where it has all of its speakers behind the grill versus Sony is kind of open. You can see all the speakers are just kind of open right here. And it also has the ports in the front versus JBL has the ports in the back. And if we go around to the sides, you'll notice on the JBL, it has pads on the sides. If you wanted to lay it down, if you wanted to use it with like a projector or wanted to put it in front of your TV for movie night. But on the Sony, there's really nothing there besides just a microphone holder because it does come with a wireless mic. And if we're looking at the backs, the JBL has a lot more ports and connections than the Sony does. So on the back of the JBL, you can see you have a whole bunch of ports and dials here. You have your gain up at the top for your mic and your guitar. You have your volume controls for mic and guitar. You have your 1/4-inch ports. You have your left and right. You have line in and line out RCAs. You have your left and right button there when you're using your TWS, USB-A. This is actually for charging or for using a USB device to play music. You have your aux port right there, 3.5 millimeter. And if you go down right here, you have your bass port that kind of curls around pretty cool. Down at the bottom, you have your power and your wheels. Over here on the Sony, you do have some tweeters on the back there. You have two of them for a 360-degree sound. And then you have your ports right here. You have a USB-A for charging and for USB music, optical in, and the audio in 3.5 millimeter. If you're looking for where your mic stuff is, it's up here at the top. And you have your mic/guitar and your volume right there and your guitar button. Obviously, if you're going to be using guitar, you press the guitar button. And then here in the back, you only have your port right there for plugging your speaker in, and then you have your wheels. And now if we're looking at the top panels to the two, you can see Sony only really has two physical buttons. They have the power button and the ULT button. And this is just kind of a fingerprint magnet. These are all like touch buttons here underneath that light up. This is really like a fingerprint and scratch magnet. I don't know if they have any type of protector for that. But on the JBL, you can see they have all physical buttons and knobs and all sorts of stuff you could do, beat pads and everything. We'll get into that in just a bit. But that's a lot nicer of a layout to me to actually have some physical buttons on the top like the JBL does. They also do both have a holder. If you want to have like a phone or a tablet right here. Sony's in the back here. JBL has it in the front. Now at the bottom here, you can see that the JBL has a down-firing 12-inch subwoofer. Pretty nice. And this is just plastic right here, it feels like. Oh, that's aluminum. Feels like maybe a weak metal or a strong plastic. Not really sure. I think that's really plastic though, actually. And you can see it has like round wheels here, kind of like roller skate type wheels right here. And on the Sony, you can see it doesn't have anything on the bottom at all except a couple of little feet pads there. And the wheels are a little bit different. We're going to take a look at the wheels in more detail. All right, so let's take a look at the wheels here. On the Sony, you can see the wheels are kind of thicker, kind of, I don't know, like dome shaped here, but they don't really work too well. They're not like, you have to really lean this thing back a lot to get these wheels to work. Versus over here on the JBL, these wheels, they stick out quite a bit and they make it really, really easy for it to roll. That's really nice. I like that. The only difference here in the back is the power adapter here on the JBL. You can see it down here at the bottom. And the Sony has it like embedded in this little port right there. All right, so let's actually give these wheels a little test right here. You can see on the Sony, you have to lean it back. So like right here, you can't even move it. So you have to lean it back all the way like this to be able to roll it around. So if you want to get in like a tight space, if I want to bring it all the way back like this, it basically stops right here and I'm dragging it. With the JBL, it's just a lot smoother of a ride. Really moves around really smoothly, and I could bring it all the way back, no problem. It's just much easier to navigate it. So a little side view of the way the wheels work. See on the Sony, if I bring it up like that, the wheels are basically dragging. So right there, they're already dragging at this angle right here. I can't even push it. I have to have it all the way down like that. And on the JBL, the wheels will just work a lot better. So I can have it all the way up like this, and the wheels are still moving. Even at this angle, just a lot better. Wheels on the JBL definitely work better. Sony's a lot tougher to manage and maneuver. I'm already dragging it at that angle. Another thing to mention about the Sony is the build quality is just really not there. When you pull on this handle and you're trying to drag it around, it's just like snapping and popping. This piece right here actually popped out when I was just picking it up and I had to pop it back into place. On the JBL, it seems a lot more sturdy. The handle seems a lot tougher. The speaker seems a lot tougher as well. So I definitely say the JBL is stronger than the Sony and probably built better. So let's go ahead and get these plugged in and see what they look like. So on the plug for the Sony, you can see it's just a straight design, just a straight cable, versus on the JBL it's 90 degrees. So if you had both of these, it's really easy to tell the difference, even though they could plug in to either speaker. All right, so we have them both plugged in. We're gonna power them on and see which one turns on faster. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, Sony wins. That's it, guys. Buy the Sony. Come on, JBL. There we go. Classic JBL sound. So now, as far as lighting goes, you can see the Sony, they have lights around the bottom, lighting up the floor, which is really cool. They also have these lights over here around the handle. I really like that as well. The Sony emblem right here in the front looks also pretty cool, and it kind of shines. And the JBL has the smaller JBL badge right there in the middle. So it's kind of cool on the JBL because it does have a full lit panel on the front, but it doesn't actually project out anywhere. So it's not going to like light up the floor or really light up the room too much. Now, if we're taking a look at the top of them, one thing that you will notice is that you can see the way the buttons are aligned for you to stand behind the JBL. But on the Sony, it's like all of the buttons are aligned for you to stand in front of it. That's a little bit strange, especially if you're like kind of, DJing a party or whatever. You'd have to have the speaker facing the wrong way. I don't really understand that. Whereas the JBL, it kind of makes more sense, the layout of the buttons. And let's just start with the JBL, what they have here. They do have your light control, you have your power button, you have your Bluetooth, you have your mode selector, and then up here you have your voice cancel. That's pretty cool if you're going to use this for karaoke. It definitely works good for karaoke because it will take the voice out of the songs for you. Then you have your key, which makes it go slower or faster on your music. That controls the key of the actual music track, not your voice, obviously. And now you have your echo right here. You can have it up, down, or off. You have your smart DJ that actually allows the tracks to fade between each other with some extra sound in there. I really don't like smart DJ. I don't think it worked that great. And then you also have the bass boost button right here. Now, bass boost is pretty interesting on this JBL because it's either off, it's bass, or it's like extra bass. There's no punchy or deep. So it's just, if you press it twice, then you're going to get an incredible amount of bass out of this. Now over here, you do have like the party pad. So you have like drum beats. You can press this button down right here. And that changes it over to like keyboard. Press it again. You have piano. Sound effects. This right here, this mode right here is customizable. So you can basically upload your own sound effects up to 96 seconds over 16 different buttons. If we go back here, you'll notice the beat pad is touch sensitive. So the harder you press it, the louder it is. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Definitely like that. And over here, you have your volume up, volume down, play pause button. And the play pause button also serves as a next track and previous track. If you press it twice, it's next track. If you press it 3 times, it's previous track. Come over here to the Sony to see it is a lot different, a lot less functionality. So you do have your echo, you do have your, obviously your controls right here for the volume of your microphone or guitar. And then over here on the top, these are just basically a lot of different color lights. So you could change the color of the lights. You do have a play pause button there, volume up, volume down. And you can change your audio, choose USB and obviously your Bluetooth. Then you have your power button and you have your alt button. Now the alt, this is going to be for deep bass or punchy bass. If it's an alt 1, it's like deep bass. Alt 2 is like punchier bass. But I don't know. Some people say alt 2 is what they prefer and it supposedly gives it more power. But I do notice it's missing a lot of frequencies on alt 2. And as you can notice here, there's really just not much else on the top panel of the Sony. It doesn't really do too much more besides this optical in and TV sound booster. And now the optical in and TV sound booster, that actually works back here with this optical port. As you can see, it does have an optical port back there. And you can plug that into your TV. And supposedly, it makes the experience a lot better. But what I noticed is all that it does is it just gives you bass. You have to use it on PCM if you're going to be connecting it, and you can't use Dolby at all. And one last thing to mention is each one of these speakers comes with something special. The Sony does come with its own wireless microphone, which is pretty nice. It's plastic with a metal top here. It uses 2 AA batteries. This has a power button here, and it has the volume up and down. It's really easy to use. Just turn it on like that, and it's already connected to the speaker. Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, and it sounds pretty good. Definitely sounds pretty good. And on the Sony, you have these little nifty things on either side. There's one on this side, and there's also one on this side right here. So you can put your mic on either or. Now, just to mention, it only does support one wireless mic and one wired mic. So if you got another wireless mic, it won't support it as far as Sony says. So that's it for the Sony. Now the JBL has something really cool. They have this gesture band right here, this JBL gesture band. This is kind of neat, kind of gimmicky. So basically you turn it on, it does have different colors, and you can change the colors right here from the top panel, which is pretty cool to match with the speaker. So you see the speaker is a certain color, the band is a certain color. Pretty neat. Let me just show you how it works for real. You have to put it on your wrist to really make it work right. Go ahead and get it on real quick. And it's a little tricky because it's just like these little, I don't know, little holes, and the thing just kind of pops into the holes. So basically the way the gesture band works, you do a couple different things with it. You could change the lighting mode by going like that. So that's what it does for the lighting mode. And then you can also clap. And that does your second sound. So like we picked two sounds, let's pick a couple piano ones here. A couple keyboard sounds. So if you go like this, that's the second sound. And if you go like this, it's the first sound. So you got to do rock, paper, scissors, and you get that sound. You clap, you get the other sound. So that's pretty much what this JBL gesture band will do. So that is the cool features that each one of these have. Now we're going to go over the specifications of both of these speakers. So for the Sony ULT Tower 10 speaker sizes, you have 4 1.57-inch horn tweeters, 2 on the front, 2 around the back for 360-degree sound. You have 2 3.15-inch horn mid-range, and you have 1 12.6-inch subwoofer, and it does have front-firing subwoofer ports. For the JBL Partybox 1000, speaker sizes are 1 compression driver as your tweeter. You have 2 7-inch mids and 1 down-firing 12-inch subwoofer. And now it does have a sub port on the back. As far as wattage goes, the Sony says it has 1,000 watts versus the JBL claims to have 1,100 watts. Weight on the Sony is 64 pounds approximately. On the JBL, we have roughly 76 pounds. Frequency response for the Sony is not listed anywhere that I could find, but on the JBL, we do have 30 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Sony does use the Sony Music Center app, and on the JBL Partybox 1000, there is currently no app available to control the speaker. That is the one downside. On the Sony, you have aux, USB, optical, guitar, and mic jack, versus on the JBL Partybox 1000, it has a lot of jacks. You have USB, aux, RCA in and out. You have your mic jack and your guitar jack with all of your volume knobs and everything on the back. Pretty nice and easily accessible. Sony does come with a wireless mic, and the JBL Partybox 1000 does come with that gesture band. It also offers customizable beat pad buttons via uploads from a USB drive. If you're interested in seeing a more detailed review of either the Sony ULT Tower 10 or the Partybox 1000, I will have links in the description where you'll be able to see more detailed reviews of either one of them. So getting back to the JBL right here, I want to show you the different lighting modes. Go ahead and press this button right here, and it changes the lighting mode. So you have like a fire lighting mode, and then you can actually go over here. You can change the color of the lights to your preference. And there's just a lot of stuff that you could do on the JBL as far as customizing lights, beat pad. And you're really going to have to grab the instruction manual and go through it in order to get the full benefits out of the Partybox 1000. On a Sony, you can also change the lighting modes up here. It does have different lights, so you can just press red, yellow, green, and it just changes the whole speaker. Or you can do multicolor, and then it kind of just goes through the colors. And both of them will dance to the music. Like I said, the really only difference is the Sony does light up the floor, and the JBL doesn't have that. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to play a few tracks for you guys to see the comparison, how each one of these speakers sound. So please just sit back and enjoy the music.
Yeah. What's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday.
All right, so my final thoughts on the Sony ULT Tower 10 versus the JBL Partybox 1000. I have to say the Partybox 1000 just sounds better. I mean, when you're listening to the Sony, you can tell you're listening to a speaker, and you can kind of hear it doesn't really have the fullness that it needs to have. And the funny thing about it is you turn it up to like 60% volume, 70% volume. In the room that you're in, it just sounds like it's screaming, but if you go into another room of the house, you can hear the bass and it just sounds a whole lot better. It's really weird, almost like it's using your walls as some type of like speaker. I don't even understand how it works. But with a JBL, it just has like a real fullness to it, and it sounds clear and it sounds nice. And the Sony's just kind of screaming. These tweeters right here, these horn tweeters are screaming. The compression driver on this one, I don't know, it may give you a bit of listening fatigue if you use it for a long time at high volumes, but these will definitely do that in a very short time if you're listening to it loud at all. I just couldn't take it, to be totally honest with you. I know a lot of people like the Sony. They say the Sony is clear, and it's because of these horn tweeters that it kind of just like, it throws the sound out there. But I think that, for a good listening experience and to actually have, really accurate reproduction, you need a little bit of a better speaker than that. The JBL does have the 7-inch mids, which really help with that mid-range, and that one compression driver, it does a decent enough job of getting that treble across. So I think, overall, the JBL is definitely better for sound, for fullness, and for bass. It's just completely just blows the Sony out of the water. And now as far as like the functionality of it and what it could do, I mean, the Sony is really limited. It doesn't really do anything much. I mean, it does have the microphone, that it comes with, so you can do karaoke with it. But the JBL, it actually has, the voice cancel. So if you're going to do karaoke, you can cancel the voice. And it has, more easy to access buttons. I don't even know how it does have an echo up here on the Sony, but it's not like a dial. It's not like a, a knob to turn it. So I definitely like the physical buttons up here on the JBL. And I also like this beat pad that you can do all this different functionality with the beat pad, all these different, tones. You could play sounds on it. You could even like play piano on it. You do drum beats. You have your DJ sounds, your party sounds. It just has so much functionality. I mean, this little, gesture band is not really the greatest. I'm not really into that so much. And now as far as like lighting goes, I like the Sony lighting. I like the ground lighting on the Sony. It is really cool. I also like this lighting around the handle. I think that's cool as well. On the JBL, I like the lights. I like that the whole front panel lights up. I really like this flame one right here. It's pretty cool. You could change the color of that flame. It's like a different color, like fire. It looks pretty cool. So I definitely like the way that you can, manipulate the lighting on this. But it would be nice if there was some type of ground lighting. Now, I know there really can't be because it has that 12-inch sub at the bottom, and it just can't have anything else down there. But I have to say, JBL is definitely my pick, and that's the one that I will go with. If you're interested in purchasing either one of these speakers, I will have links in the description where you'll be able to get them from. And if you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links, since anything you purchase does generate a small commission for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.